Fabrizio Romano confirms Alexander Isak wants dream Liverpool move. Fabrizio Isak edges closer to Liverpool's switch as Reds prepare record-breaking offer amid centre-back uncertainty. Liverpool appear to be closing in on a high-profile addition this summer, with Alexander Isak reportedly moving closer to a sensational switch to Anfield. It's been a statement window so far for the Premier League. Champions. Sporting director Richard Hughes has masterminded an exceptional recruitment campaign. Florian Wirtz arrived for a British record transfer fee, and he was swiftly followed by Hugo Ekitike, Milos Kirkes, Jeremy Frimpong, and Georgi Mamardashvili. Despite lifting the 2024-25 title under Arne Slot, Liverpool aren't easing off. In fact, their ambitions continue to grow. While a new centre-back remains a priority, the Reds now have their sights locked on Isak. Liverpool eye another record fee for Isak. Liverpool are reportedly willing to shatter their own British transfer record once again to land Isak, and they've got the resources to pull it off. The Swedish striker made headlines earlier this week after rejecting Newcastle United's offer of a contract extension, signaling his desire to exit St. James' Park immediately. Isak, who is managing a slight thigh problem, skipped the Magpies' preseason tour of Asia, yet Liverpool has quickly emerged as the leading contender for his signature, even after signing Ekitike, who was Newcastle's primary choice to replace. Saudi Magaffer rejected by Isak. Newcastle's Saudi owners were said to be stunned when reports surfaced suggesting they'd tried to steer Isak toward Al Hilal, another club within the PIF network. The offer: a staggering weekly wage of £600,000, 5 times his current earnings, double what he is reportedly seeking in his next contract. Still, Isak's position remains firm. According to the latest from Fabrizio Romano, the 25-year-old has no interest in joining the Saudi Pro League. Instead, he is focused on staying at the top level of European football and is eager to compete in the Premier League with what he views as its best club. Liverpool. Romano confirms Isak's Liverpool preference. Romano posted on Threads Alexander Isak has rejected offers from Saudi and turned down a new deal. Liverpool remains the priority. He added, "There's no activity with Al Hilal, and Eddie Howe has admitted contract talks aren't ongoing. The player is determined to leave Newcastle." Romano continued, "Forget Chelsea, Manchester United, or Arsenal, none are involved. At this stage, the only club that's maintained serious dialogue with Isak is Liverpool. Now, it's up to Newcastle. What happens next?" While optimism is growing, this potential transfer still hinges on Newcastle's willingness to sell. Refusal could leave them with a disgruntled star, while acceptance will prompt delicate negotiations over fees and wages. Liverpool must also find room financially and tactically, potentially offloading several attackers, including Darwin Núñez, Luis Diaz, Federico Chiesa, and perhaps even young talent Ben Doak, to streamline the forward line. Defensive rebuild underway alongside the pursuit of a new striker. Liverpool's backline is also under scrutiny. The Reds remain active in the market for a central defender, with recent developments accelerating those plans. Jarell Quansah, who only signed a new contract last November, departed for Bayer Leverkusen this summer in a £35 million deal. That leaves a vacancy as third-choice centre-back behind Virgil van Dijk, and Ibrahima Konate replacing Quansah won't be easy. Van Dijk remains under contract until 2027.
Ow!
But Konate's future is less clear, as he's currently in discussions over an extension and weighing his long-term options. Any new arrival might find themselves warming the bench unless either of the senior duo departs sooner than expected. Joe Gomez's injury highlights depth concerns. Case for defensive reinforcement was further strengthened this week when Joe Gomez was withdrawn from the club's preseason tour due to an Achilles issue. The club released a statement saying, "The defender is returning to Merseyside to begin treatment on an Achilles injury at the AXA Training Center. This is the 6th significant muscle or tendon injury Gomez has suffered since joining Liverpool, once again casting doubt over his reliability for a full campaign. Across his decade at Anfield, his involvement has fluctuated from playing over 3,000 minutes in some seasons to making fewer than 900 last term. Availability remains a major concern." Crystal Palace's Mark Guéhi emerges as top target given Gomez's repeated fitness issues and Kwanzaa's departure. Liverpool are now on the lookout for a dependable option who can slot into the rotation seamlessly. One name rising to the top of their list is Crystal Palace captain Mark Guéhi, now approaching his peak. The England international has a relatively clean injury history, apart from a knee issue last season, and has proven himself as a consistent performer in the Premier League. Kaya's leadership and experience could offer Liverpool the stability they're seeking in defense. Slot responds to centre-back shortage claims, speaking after Gomez's injury setback. Head coach Arne Slot addressed growing concerns about Liverpool's centre-back situation. He dismissed the notion of a crisis, but acknowledged the club would remain proactive in assessing options. As Liverpool continue their summer revamp, they appear poised to make further big moves, with Alexander Isak's arrival potentially the crown jewel of an already impressive transfer window. Arne Slot plays down centre-back concerns as Liverpool explore new attacking targets. Liverpool manager Arne Slot has dismissed suggestions that his side urgently needs to dip into the transfer market for a new centre-back. Despite a growing number of absentees in defence during their pre-season tour of Asia, Joe Gomez has returned to Merseyside for treatment on what the club has described as a minor Achilles issue. With Gomez sidelined, Liverpool were left with just two senior centre-backs available on tours, Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate, during the Reds' 4-2 loss to AC Milan at Hong Kong's Kai Tak Stadium on Saturday. Midfielder Ryan Gravenberch was deployed alongside Van Dijk in the first half, while left-back Costa Tsimikas slotted in next to Konate in the second. Captain Wataru Endo, who has filled in at centre-half during his Bundesliga days, missed the match due to illness, despite concerns arising from Gomez's latest setback. Particularly given his limited involvement in 2025, Slot remains confident in his squad's depth. Sitting here next to Virgil van Dijk, we're not short on centre-backs, Slot joked during his post-match press conference in Hong Kong. Ryan showed today, as he did last season, that he can fill in at centre-back, though we all know we see him as a midfielder. Endo can play there too. Joe's injury is minor, and he was excellent for us last season. While it's true we haven't replaced Jarell Quansah, I still believe we have adequate cover. Slot reflects on squad depth and ambition. Slot emphasized that Liverpool's title-winning success last season came with minimal transfer activity, underlining his faith in the current group. However, he acknowledged that standing still won't be enough to maintain dominance. Last season we didn't make many changes and still won the league, but to stay ahead we must evolve. Other clubs are strengthening, and we have to do the same, both by improving our current players and injecting fresh energy into the team, he said. I'm very satisfied with the new additions and with how the group is responding in training and matches. Now we're waiting to see how Hugo Ekitike settles in. So far I'm happy with the squad and even more pleased we've managed to retain key players. Defensive vulnerabilities exposed in Milan defeat reflecting on the match itself, Slot admitted. His side struggled at times, particularly against Milan's counterattacks. A result, he believes,